What's up guys, and welcome to the Watchtower Watch Reviews with your host DK, and today we're going to be looking at another one of my favourite budget brands, Timex. So you may have seen my Timex Expedition Scout on the channel previously, and if you're following me on Instagram, and you really should be, you'll also have seen me unbox a number of other Timexes I got from Luxury Bazaar. So I'm actually looking at one of those today. It's the Timex Waterbury, and I'm going to really struggle with this one, so I believe it's TW2P75100, and if that's incorrect, future me will correct it in post-production and put it down below me. It's basically it's not an homage as such, but it's more watch that bears more than a passing resemblance to the Rolex Explorer, and that's something that I'm very interested in, obviously, as a fan of homage watches and watches that kind of ape the design of more expensive ones that I probably can't afford. So we're going to have a look at that watch in detail today, decide if it's something that's worth picking up for you guys, what I like about it, what I don't like, what does it do well, what does it do poorly, and where you should get one. So, without any further ado, let's get into the review. Alright, so if you're not already liked and subscribed on the video, do so now please, it really helps out the channel. I almost forgot my wrist check for today. This is my Heimdallr Pilot Watch. This is probably going to be my next review actually, so keep an eye out for this one next week. Really nice on that black strap. Anyway, so a bit of an unboxing. If you've seen my Instagram, you've probably seen this already. I'll pop up the price I paid for this one on the right hand side there. Here is the Timex on this stainless steel metal band, and there's pretty much nothing else in the box really except for those spare links. So here we have it, the Timex TW2P75100, or as I'm calling it, the Timex Explorer, for very obvious reasons. Bears more than a passing resemblance to the Rolex Explorer, and this is a really cool watch. I'll pop up a picture there of the two. So you can see there side by side, pretty similar indeed. Dimensions on this one, it's a bit bigger, 41.7mm diameter there, 45.5mm at the crown. Timex actually have it listed as 40mm, I make it 41.7. Lug to lug 49.5mm, lug width of 20mm, no taper on that stainless steel bracelet, even at the clasp it's about 19.7. Thickness 11.8mm, a lot of that is that crystal protruding up over the case. The weight on this one is 130 grams at all links. 4 links removed from my 7-inch wrist is 113 grams. Alright, so what are we looking at in terms of specs? Well, it is all 316L stainless steel and high polish on the crown, case and the bezel. It's a solid bezel, it's not a dive bezel obviously enough. There's a bit of a mixture of brushed and high polish on that bracelet. It's a simple folding clasp with pressed clasp, no micro adjusts as well on that clasp. It's just a simple bog standard pressed clasp, pretty cheap to be honest. Folded bracelet links as well, they're not solid, they're kind of hollow folded ones, and it is hollow end links as you can see there, so there is a fair bit of rattle on this bracelet which I'll go through later on in the video. You do get a mix of brushing and high polish, which is nice in fairness. As well, you're getting this flat piece of mineral crystal. However, it does come up above the case and it protrudes quite a lot, so if you're prone to banging your watch into things, this is going to scratch and scuff up. Maybe invest in a bit of polywatch. It is a press case back and a simple pull push crown, which means that you're getting 50 meters of water resistance, no more no less. Should be okay for getting it a small bit wet, but I wouldn't go swimming with it really. The crown is a simple pull push as I said, and it also has a quartz movement inside. Pull it out once to change the date. Actually I'm going to pull it out twice. Change the time there for a second just to allow you to see the date function change over. Pull it out once to the first setting and you can actually adjust the date forward and backwards. Quite handy. Here it is under the macro lens, so you can see there the Timex is printed at 12 o'clock. All the indices though are applied and there is a printed minute track around the outside. So you can see there nicely applied, fairly simple, silver applied. There is a frame around that date window at 3 o'clock and they haven't cut into the 3 at the 3 o'clock position, which I really enjoy because to be honest I hate when they do that, when they cut into the numerals. The Waterbury since 1854, Indiglo original down there above the 6 o'clock marker. You can see that second hand ticking away once per second. This is a quartz after all, not an automatic or a mechanical. And here it is out on my 7-inch wrist. It is absolutely Baltic cold today, so I hope you guys appreciate these outdoor shots. You can see there that bracelet and that case polished, picking up any sunlight that there is in Ireland in December, and it is Yeah, it's okay, in fairness. I like it, but I think it looks a lot better on a leather strap. This is just a cheap leather... Actually, it is a proper leather strap, but it's a cheap leather vintage look one that I picked up off AliExpress. I'll drop a link if you actually fancy it, because to be quite honest, for the price I paid, they're not half bad. And it does give a nice kind of dressed up look to it. However, I'm going to keep it on this, which is this Watch Gecko brown leather strap with a single fold over clasp. And it's really, really nice. I wasn't expecting to like it as much on the brown, but I think this is the kind of strap you should be going for. And let's have a look at the lume shot. So we'll give it a quick charge up there with my UV torch. This should be, yeah, that's probably about enough, isn't it, I'd say. And we turn it off. Oh, that's not lumed. You do get Indiglow, which is great. I mean, the Indiglow function on this one is, I always love Indiglow, but it looks as if those indices are loomed, and they're actually not. There's no loom at all on this one. Okay, so I suppose it's time to go through what I like about this watch and what I'm maybe not so fond of, or what they could have done better with this one. Honestly, the looks are the main thing for this watch, because it is such a really nice dial. A good bit of Rolex Explorer homage to this one, and also a little bit different, because if you look, that's not a Mercedes hand, that's a T for Timex. So I thought that was a really funky little addition, that they didn't just stick a Mercedes hour hand onto it, they actually kind of did their own thing while still keeping the look. That's pretty cool to me. The other thing I like about this one, of course, is the fact that it has Indiglow. Anyone who's ever seen me do a review for a Timex or seen a Timex in function will know that Indiglow is a great function to have at night time. Unbelievably visible at night time, and also it's powered by the battery, so don't press it all the time, but it is quite handy to have, and it's a constant so long as you don't run down the battery. Next thing about this one I like is the water resistance. It's 50 meters rather than say 30. Okay, look, it's not the best. I mean, 100 would be ideal, but it's pretty hard to get 100 on a pull push, and especially with an Indiglow function because of the fact that it is a pull push crown. But 50 meters water resistance with a pull push crown and a snapped on case back isn't bad, and at least you'll be a bit more comfortable getting it wet. Now, what I don't like about this is the bracelet. Yeah, they did an okay job of brushing and polishing, but it's pretty cheap and pretty nasty. It's a bit rattly. It's not great. I'm going to stick it on here so you can actually hear it on wrist, but it's very loud. So if you're ever out of maracas and you need them in a pinch, just wear this watch and wear it on the bracelet. I don't keep it on the bracelet, to be honest. I have it stuck onto the leather strap that I showed you guys. The other thing is, this is a big size difference. It's a big old watch. It's compared to the actual Rolex Explorer. No, it's not great in terms of the size dimensions. I would have preferred if it was smaller. Also, that second hand, I've had Timexes before where they've hit all the indices, and it is a cheap quartz watch by, you know, relative standards. But I'd still like to see it hit some of the indices and all the markers, and I don't think it hits any of them, to be quite honest with you. It's not great. As I say, that size is a bit bigger than the Rolex Explorer that it's homaging. It would be nicer if it was a bit smaller. So guys, there you have it. My review of the Timex Waterbury TW2P75100, aka the Timex Waterbury Explorer. A great watch that, well, it's a great watch in terms of looks. In terms of features, Timex are never going to exactly, you know, wow us with those, I don't think. But I think if you really fell in love with the looks of this one, it's worth picking up. However, you're going to pay a premium because they're a discontinued model series number. So I find it very hard to recommend a watch like this. If you love the looks of it, it's a nice watch to wear. If you don't love the looks and you're buying it because you think it's a great value piece, I'm not so sure I could call it a great value piece. As I say, there are issues. The bracelet's not great. There's no loom, even though it looks like the hands and indices are loomed. There's a couple of other small things that I mentioned in the review. I'm not so sure I can recommend this one. I love it, but I don't know what you guys will think of it. And please do leave a comment and tell me whether you like this one or not, because I have a feeling this could be one of my more divisive reviews. God, that's hard to say. So guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, perfect time to do so now. Make sure to like the video, follow me on Instagram, all the usual social media stuff. I've been your host TK, this has been the Watchtower Watch Reviews, and I will see you guys next time.